The Morning Sports Desk, available on demand on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts, and WadenaRadio.com.
It is the Morning Sports Desk on a Thursday, the 24th of October. I'm CJ Baumgartner. There's Corey Tackman.
Hi.
Corey, a Vikings Thursday, a playoff volleyball Thursday, a state girls tennis Thursday. It's just a busy day.
There's a lot of stuff happening, isn't there? It's pretty fun.
A lot of stuff going on. Let's start by recapping what went on last night. Corey, you had some Section 5A playoff volleyball.
Yeah, I saw the top seed Sebeka Trojans take out the 8 seed Verndale Pirates in straight sets. 15, 17, and 15 were the final scores of those three. Pretty just like straightforward early section volleyball match in a 1-8 matchup. Sebeka's a nice team. I don't think they played particularly great. But, they're very good. They're a very good team. So, particularly great is a different standard with a team that has some very strong state tournament aspirations. I was talking with Coach Pouliou before the match, and I was like, so is this are you talking about it? What's the thing? And I always like to ask coaches too. I hope they don't get offended, but hey, okay, is it real? Are you guys real? Is the state tournament a thing you're really talking about? Is this and she goes, yeah, magic number is 4. That's how they're talking about it. So I love they have we are talking about it. We have a very simple message about it too. The magic number is 4. And now after last night, the magic number is down to 3. They took care of business. They play Walker Hackensack Akeley tomorrow night. That will again be high seed host. So it will be in Sebeka. And I know we're going to broadcast that game on the Superstation K106 tomorrow night. We'll cover more and go into more of those details there. And I know we're going to go into further details about upsets around the state of volleyball. But Walker Hackensack Akeley, a minor 5-4 upset victory over Nevis last night to get into that next round of the 5A tournament.
Yeah, and over on KWAD, I had Wadena Deer Creek hosting Crookston. They hosted a team that hadn't won a set all season long coming into the game, and they finished the year without winning a set. They didn't muster more than 20. They had 20 combined points.
Yeah,
throughout or somewhere along there. Throughout the first 3 sets or 25. I don't think they would have won a set with the amount of points they got. Wadena Deer Creek took care of business. I thought Crookston was better than they were a year ago, even though that they end the season winless. I think they played a lot of freshmen. It was this year's going to suck, but we're going to get some girls some varsity experience one way or another. And that's just how that turned out. Wadena Deer Creek took care of business. We talked about that yesterday. How do you play? How do you whatever? Started the second set. Wadena Deer Creek handled business in the first set. Wolverines get down by 2 points, a couple miscues early, and then went on a 25-4 run to close out the set. So, I was talking with Coach Volkman of Wadena Deer Creek, and, it wasn't about Crookston. It was just about the section playoffs more broadly. What do good teams look like when they go on runs? And she said teams that serve, receive, and avoid unforced errors. And that's, obviously
talked about all season.
Right. Exactly. There are things that Coach Volkman has harped on. And yeah, there's a little bit of that here and there, but in the grand view of a volleyball game, you're always going to have those. And they came out and they won. They won. And now they move on to the next round of the playoffs. They're going to take on Thief River Falls. They were the 6th seed. They beat the 11th seeded Pelican Rapids. That game will be on Friday night, 7:00 first serve at the WDC Middle High School gym. And we are going to broadcast that one on KWAD 101.7 FM and AM 920. Also streaming online at WadenaRadio.com. So the Wolverines have their Section 8 AA title defense. They got the first step, which is winning that first game. Mm-hmm. And, there wasn't I think Wadena Deer Creek fans, they had some energy there. But really, it's just hard to get. I mean, it's a playoff game, but it's one where you just know your team's going to win. The match took less than an hour, and Crookston had maybe 20 people on the other side, if that. So it was a weird vibe in the gym. And I'm not trying to say Wadena Deer Creek cheered and there was some stuff. I'm not saying that they sat on their hands or anything. That's not what I'm trying to say. But it did not have a playoff atmosphere. I'm excited for Friday where it will have a much more playoff atmosphere, even though Thief River Falls to Wadena Deer Creek is school is not necessarily a hop, skip, and a jump. So
Sure.
So we'll see how that game goes, but I think it will be much better. I think the game will have more of a playoff vibe to that one on Friday night, and it should be good. So we're going to have coverage of that one. By the way, for Section 8AA, they always wait to announce the high seeds because, of course, that section is just so vast in terms of the miles that it covers that
Yeah.
we want to wait until things are a little more certain on which teams are likely going to advance. Anyway, the neutral site games are going to be at Moorhead High School.
Oh, okay.
So that's where last year it was in DGF for some of them.
Sure.
Because DGF was out of the playoffs by the time you got to neutral site games.
Mm-hmm.
And Pelican Rapids was the host of the section final. So
sure.
We'll see where they go. I mean, they're going to go to Moorhead this year. So
depending on who those last two teams are, right, it could probably move even still. But
right, because last year, DGF was the initial host site, and then it was Wadena Deer Creek and Perham, and it's like, well, we're not going to make you guys drive all the way out there for that.
Right, exactly.
Go halfway instead to Pelican. So anyway, other than that, Corey, let's take a look at the brackets kind of more broadly. Let's go back to Section 5A, since that's kind of where you started, and kind of take us down the bracket.
Oh, yeah, okay. We can do that. We'll just kind of barrel through things, I guess, really quickly. It was Sebeka we talked about. What's that?
I said pretty much everything went to chalk.
Yeah, I mean, it all went to chalk except for one matchup, and all of the other matches were 3-0 chalk. The one that wasn't was Walker Hackensack Akeley over Nevis, and that went a full 5. So I don't know. There's really not much to talk about there. I did go through though, and see CJ. I went through some of the big upsets. Were there any big upsets in the state last night in volleyball? And there were a few 5-over-4s. Like if there were upsets really anywhere, that was generally the upset was a 5 or over a 4. And I don't really consider a 5 over a 4 an upset, actually.
That's a coin flip.
But according to seeding, it is, so it counts. I have 4, I guess what I would call real upsets. Okay. One of them was in 4AA. I didn't even write down the teams because who cares? That's a long ways from here. But that was a 15 over a 10.
Okay.
Okay. Also in 4AA, there was a 6 over a 3.
Okay.
More locally, more regionally, in 6AA, the 11 seed Holdingford beat Staples-Motley in 4.
Yeah.
So that was an 11 over a 6. And in 8A, there was a 6 over a 3, Foston over Black Duck in 4.
All right.
Otherwise, everything else went according to seed.
Pretty much everything went according to seed on that one. And, a 4-5 upset, if you want to talk about New York Mills, beat Park Christian. They got the one over there.
Yep, that's a 5-4.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell. These first rounds sometimes are few and far between. Usually, for lack of a better term, you're trimming some areas. You're getting to kind of get ready for some of these high profile matchups. And you just have to, everybody starts in the playoffs. You got to start from somewhere. Here we go. And as we mentioned, our broadcast schedule for tomorrow night, we already got that checked off the books, Corey. Let's talk about some state girls tennis, huh?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You had the chance. I know we talked to Wadena Deer Creek doubles team of Anna Fiemeyer and Kaylee Endres earlier. Was that in the week or even last week? I don't remember now anymore, but you had the opportunity, I know, to talk to Staples-Motley singles player Ronnie Noska, who's well, it's Thursday. The individual brackets began today. How'd that conversation with Ronnie go?
It was great. She gave a lot for a sophomore. She gave a lot of answers that like a senior would give, just in terms of she was very comfortable with who she is as a volleyball. I'm on that minded saying very who she. I don't know who I am right now talking. She was very solidified in her thoughts playing tennis. Her thoughts. I mean, she's competed as a singles in when the team went to state. She competed in the doubles that went to state, and now by herself here. She's had state tournament experience. She's had a lot of wins. And I asked her, I was like, was getting to state on the goal sheet. And she was like, yeah, it's like, really, my goal this season. Well, she's like, getting to state's a goal. She didn't want to like undersell it, but she was like, the thing I wanted to get to this year, she said, was 100 career wins. And she got it in the section tournament. But that was one where it was like, state's fine. And to get to state, I got to get those wins. But I wanted to hit that milestone because it's hard to get to. And it's something that she was able to reach in her sophomore season. So she gave a lot of answers about, when I talk with Jill Fiemeyer, head coach, co-head coach of the Wadena Deer Creek girls tennis team, she talks a lot about mentality and mind game and all that stuff and how important that is. And she said a lot of that too. And she said, sometimes the best way to mentally prepare myself for tennis is to not think about tennis. And she's like, go. And it was a lot of other stuff in that interview that I thought she did very well, just talking about everything from her season to the playoffs, to getting ready for state, to being there before, and her mental component and all that kind of stuff. So it was a really fascinating interview, about 5-7 minutes long. It's up right now on the Morning Sports Desk podcast feed, as well as the Hubbard Radio-Wadena YouTube page that we have up right now as well.
I want to mention, because we're talking about it right now and state tennis, as we are recording this, CJ, or doing this, it is just before noon on Thursday of day one of these individual state tennis championships, right? Both singles and doubles. So around the region, I'm looking at the state bracket right now. Leah Maddock of Osakis is a 5 seed, as she beat Kiana Haler of St. James 2-4, and is scheduled to play now again at noon against Isla Dilly from Litchfield. Elsewhere around the region, Tori Orline of Crosby Ironton beat Tabitha Barkowski of Maple River. Tori is going to play Fatima Vang from the Blake School. That is scheduled for a noontime start as well. And then Ronnie is unseeded, taking on the 3 seed Casey Cronin from Holy Family Catholic, which is in Victoria, Minnesota. Ronnie lost her opening round match 0-4, and I'm trying to find if there's a consolation bracket and how that works, because Ronnie will play Lydia Sweep from Morris area, Chicago, Alberta, West Central area. That is a noontime match. So Ronnie moves into the consolation bracket, but is set to play here again. So keep winning now for Ronnie is the goal here at this point. What do you say? Do we need to look at? I think I need to find the doubles tournament, huh? If we're going to look at it this way and keep going.
Yeah, we already brought up the singles, so what the heck? Let's jump on the doubles.
Now I just need to find it, and how do I get there?
We just got to kind of talk and fill time while you go to do that. Do we got the Jeopardy music? Do we have the dun 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 dun?
So let's see. There are a few scores not reported yet. There are a few scores reported in the doubles tournament. Again, we're just looking at the Class A stuff. So Jenna Sturzinger and Nikki Crocker of Pequot Lakes are playing a doubles team from Lake City. Lake City, CJ, of course, is the birthplace of what and who?
A lake, I guess, or a city.
Lake City is the birthplace of water skiing.
Oh, yeah.
And Corey Tackman.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Elsewhere around the region, the team from Wadena Deer Creek, Anna Fiemeyer and Kaylee Endres, their opening round match was against Vivian Lottie and Kate Unverzacht. They're from Pine City. And the team from Pine City came away with a 7-5, 6-3 victory in the opening round. So that moves the Fiemeyer Endres team into the consolation bracket. I want to see who they play here very quickly. They'll take on Alicia Hawk and Vivian Brockberg from Pipestone this afternoon at 2:00. There. Caught up on some state tournament tennis brackets. Thanks for bearing with me while we worked through that.
Done. Hey, congrats either way to all of them for getting down to the state tournament. And we appreciate their time too, getting ready for it and getting this interviews out there. And they were a lot of fun to talk about. So even though their tournaments are in progress right now, there's still just a lot of talk about their seasons and about what they've done and their kind of aspirations. So even though the tournament games are happening right now, that interview is still evergreen to go listen to. And there's still lots of great sound from them. And
on the morning sports desk.
Uh-huh.
Wherever you get your podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
On YouTube, Hubbard Radio-Wadena.
Mm-hmm.
Interviews linked to socials.
Yep. WadenaRadio.com.
Synergy, buzzwords.
Superstation K106 mobile app.
Yep.
Wherever you get your podcasts.
Yep.
Are we on Amazon?
Let's find out.
Yeah, let's find out. While Corey does that, once again, go check out all those on the Morning Sports Desk feed. And by the way, go check it out on Sports Cow on Facebook. Yeah, Sports Cow. Remember that? It's back, and you can follow it. That's where we're putting all of our Hubbard Radio-Wadena sports.
We are on Amazon.
We are on Amazon.
Right there.
We're Jeff Bezos' favorite podcast.
That's the rumor. I've heard that also. Yeah.
People are saying it.
Two people are saying it.
2 people are saying it. And if 2 people are saying it, that's called a corroborated claim.
2 people are there really? If 2 people are saying it, that's pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's only so many people, CJ.
Yeah, I mean, who are you going to believe? Those 2 people or the other 7?
You don't know any of those other people.
Yeah.
You know us.
Exactly. We have a podcast. We're 2 white guys with a podcast. Trust what we have to say. Yeah.
Very unique niche. This is a very weird. I mean, some people would argue we've carved this niche out.
Yeah.
Created the industry.
All right, let's talk about the Pro Football Challenge, huh?
Rogan.
Can you pull that clip up, Jamie? Could you pull that up? So when you say that,
I love that he has Jamie, who everyone knows is a real person, but he just exists in the ether. Stephen Colbert does that. He did on the old show. I don't know if he did. He when he goes to a clip, he always throws it to Jim. And this person did this thing and that thing last night, Jim. And then the clip goes. I love it. I don't think Jim's a real person. We should start doing that. Should we start throwing it to when we start pulling up pictures on our video podcast, which you can watch at Hubbard Radio-Wadena on YouTube? We should throw it to Jim.
Why not?
Okay. Or someone. Let's make up a name.
Yeah. Yeah. Or let's hire somebody and we'll make them do it.
You know what? I like that. Like our very own research team.
Yeah. Let's get the Morning Sports Desk research team, the best research team our budget will allow.
Yes. Okay. No, that's great.
We're going to get hiring. You can submit your applications on Sports Cow. Just message us there.
You can send your applications to Matt Senny.
No context. Just say it.
Yes.
Say I'm applying. You'll get it.
By the way, you must be available to work 5 days a week, anywhere between 9:30 and 1:30.
Please make yourself available to our flexible schedule.
We'll decide mere 15 minutes before we go when we're working. Just so you know.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense to me.
Hey, you're an intern. Deal with it.
Yeah, that's you bought the ticket. You ride the ride, you know?
All right, what's next?
Pro Football Challenge. Jamie, can you pull that up?
Yeah. Hey, Clark, you want to pull up the Pro Football Challenge? Pro Football Challenge, Liquor Depot and Staples. It's Thursday. It's time to get new picks in, and this is a really good time. We always like to talk about this on Thursday because the brand new NFL week, what is it, week 8 of the NFL, officially begins tonight. And what's especially fun, as you wear your TB5 jersey, the Vikings are in action tonight. They're in Los Angeles to take on the Rams. It's fun to say it slow like that. And they're in what everyone in the national media will call a super great stadium, but we all know is dumb compared to U.S. Bank Stadium. SoFi stinks.
It's a big behemoth, but as a stadium, just a spectacle, it's fascinating. As an actual football stadium, meh.
As architecture goes, it's cool. But anyway, the Vikings are at the Rams tonight, 6:00 pregame, 7:15 kickoff on the Superstation K106. Go make your picks on the Pro Football Challenge. And if you were like me and probably CJ, I'm gonna speak for you here in a quick moment. I got the Vikings winning this one on the Pro Football Challenge.
Yeah, big big news that the guy from Minnesota predicts the Vikings will win tonight. I think the Vikings do. I think they come out. I think they come out with this one. The Rams, I think really the Rams are not good enough to beat the Vikings. I think that if the Vikings lose this game, it would be for a couple logistical reasons. And one of them is the fact that it's Thursday night. The Vikings on the road on Thursday night are 0-7 in franchise history.
Yep.
They're also going 2 time zones away, which is not nothing. They are also playing after playing Detroit. And I don't know if you've heard this, Corey, but there's a Detroit Lions curse this season where every team that has played the Lions the week after has had their worst game of the season because you throw everything at the table against the Lions and the Lions throw everything at you and you kind of are wore down that next week.
Yes.
Now the Vikings are on a short week having to do that. Also, Thursday night games are weird. So all of those factors are reasons why the Vikings could lose. But I think talent-wise, this Rams roster, I mean, there's Stafford. I know Puka Nacua is expected to come back. So is Cooper Kupp, and that'll help. But outside of those guys, I mean, name a Ram. Name a Ram outside of Puka Nacua, Matt Stafford, and Cooper Kupp. Name one, Corey. Do it.
Eric Dickerson.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Kurt Warner.
Okay.
Jerome Bettis.
Vikings legend Sam Bradford.
Sam Bradford.
Case Keenum.
Torrey Holt. Marshall Faulk.
Marshall Faulk. Alec Ogletree. Linebacker.
Jeff Fisher.
Todd Gurley.
Oh, good Todd Gurley, too.
Yeah, good Todd Gurley.
Kevin
Atlanta
O'Connell.
Falcons Todd Gurley.
Kevin O'Connell.
He didn't play quarterback for them, though.
He was there. He did coach him, though.
No, he was there.
Aaron Donald. How we forgot about Aaron Donald?
Yeah, they're true.
That big fat lineman who's now on TV.
Andrew Whitworth.
Yeah, that guy. Call Andrew Whitworth. 877 cash now.
You're kind of close, but kind of not at the same time.
Pretty good, right? I have
Isaac Bruce.
Yes. Oh, that's embarrassing. I forgot about Isaac Bruce.
Who's Orlando Pace?
Yes, Orlando Pace. Did I ever tell you when Orlando Pace was in college, he went to Ohio State? Probably not a surprise there. But on one of the games that was on, I don't know if they were playing the Gophers or it was just a big nationally televised game. They did a how many pancakes did Orlando Pace have? And I think it was in the game. I don't think it was a season-long thing. I think it was in the game. And to display how many pancakes Orlando Pace had, they threw it to the sideline reporter who had a plate of a stack of pancakes. And they realized in the middle of doing it how silly it was. And he started laughing. And the play-by-play and color guys started laughing. And they're like, that's a lot of pancakes. Gee.
Jamie, can you find that clip? Jamie, can you pull that up?
I have a couple of rules when it comes to picking Thursday night football games. And the first rule is which team is better? Pick that one. Like, you don't take anything, don't take other things into account. This is a talent-based game because they can't operate on anything else. They can't operate on coaching. They can't operate on scheming. There's not enough time. So who's better, the Vikings or the Rams? In this instance, the Vikings are a better team than the Rams. If all things are equal, I pick the home team.
Yeah.
Those are like the two rules. And then the third rule, if you want an addendum on this, is none of the rules actually matter because it's Thursday night football and it's going to probably be dumb.
Yeah, the Vikings are going to win. I didn't say it was going to be pretty. It's going to be a ugly football.
It could be 17-13. It could be 37-33.
Right.
It could just be weird.
When I say ugly, it could either mean that both teams cannot get anything going offensively, or ugly is in the fact that both defenses are clearly either not rested or not fully prepared for what offenses are going to try to do to them.
Correct.
And it's just going to be a mess. And I think it could possibly lean towards being offensive heavy, but depending on if Kupp and Nacua get back. But I just think overall, I think the Vikings defense is going to feast. I think The fact that the Vikings offensive line has been good. I mean, believe it or not, losing the best player in football on the defensive side hurts your defense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it does.
they do not get pressures, and it'll be interesting to see how the Vikings hold up there.
I believe the line's in pretty rough shape.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones is playing, I know.
Yep, that's expected. Blake Cashman is not, so
Cashman's out. Let's see.
Hawkinson probably not going to play tonight. I don't know if I read that anywhere, but the vibe I get just feels like they're trying to save Hawkinson to return next week when they get a full 10 days to rest and then play Indy at home.
Yep, I think that's right. Reisner also, I believe, is not ready.
No, and again, I think it's on a short week. I think if this was a regular Sunday, I would guarantee Reisner and Hawkinson play.
Yep.
Here's the thing about Reisner. He needs to come back badly. Ed Ingram's having a rough time.
Ed Ingram is doing Ed Ingram things.
Yeah. I mean, he had a holding call basically where he just hugged the guy because otherwise he was just going to bull rush into Sam Darnold.
Well, I mean, I actually don't hate that, but I don't hate the hold there in that instance.
I hate getting beat.
Run over.
Yeah, there was, he does the classic, like, it
comes in the same day that Christian Darrisaw and goes viral for pushing the stunt so far inside, he just loses the guy in the wash. And then the other guy who comes twisting around the edge, Darrisaw does a 360 and just heads him off at the pass and completely stuffs. I mean, that play went viral.
Christian Darrisaw is so good, man. He's so good. He's what a monkey's paw for Rick Spielman to finally draft a good left tackle. And he gets fired the next year.
I'm sorry, Rick who? I don't recognize that name.
Slick Rick. Seventh round pick merchant. Anyway.
So I got to admit one thing. Last week we talked about Vikings Lions and you were pressuring me who to pick and I wasn't exactly sure. I do want to make sure I clear the air on this. I did pick the Vikings here, but I picked Detroit on my Pro Football Challenge. I did. But I waited. I waited to pick it. I was, as you could tell when I was waffling when we were talking about it, I wasn't sure. And I felt pressured to pick the Vikings because I'm a Vikings fan. But when push came to shove, I was like, I think Detroit is awesome. I think Detroit's probably the best team in football, actually. So I went with Detroit.
Yeah, they're good.
Now, I came away feeling pretty good about the Vikings, to be fair, after that game was over. Just another one of those, like another week where like I know they lost, but I feel better about them than I thought I would.
Right.
But I'm picking the Vikings. I picked the Vikings to win tonight, and I'm double dipping here. I want it to be clear, CJ, all the way around. This is a Vikings win, and I will be sad tomorrow if they lose. I also won't be able to watch it because I can't watch these.
No, they're on local.
They are?
Yeah, they get on local for.
Yes, I will be watching. Yay.
I think if it's I think the deal was like, all right, well, if the Vikings are playing, then Minneapolis and other local TV affiliates can.
Oh, that makes me very happy, CJ. That's great news.
Yeah.
I will be watching the Vikings tonight.
Otherwise, Corey's going to be pestering his extended family for their Amazon Prime passwords.
I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't. I'd turn it on.
Listen to it for free on the Superstation.
That's what I would do.
That's what you would do.
Because radio gets results. All right. Anything else?
No, I knew how that finished. I just wanted to see you finish it.
Nah.
No, jingle goes. By the way, Jamie was able to find some kind of clip.
Yep.
There he is.
Look at him.
He's so happy.
Look at that fresh-faced Orlando Pace.
He has no neck.
Those are holy moly.
Yeah.
I saw a video of Kyle Rudolph the other day. He was interviewed on one of the Barstool things.
Yeah, I think he went on PMT or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. And this is the professional athletes. Probably, this is good. It just sounds weird to say this, but whatever. It's too late. I've already committed to it. Their hands are enormous. Kyle Rudolph's hands are like, no wonder that guy was so good at catching footballs.
No wonder that guy could just box people out in the end zone and just jump up and grab it.
Yeah.
Look at Orlando Pace grab that carton of milk.
That's half a gallon of milk. It's ridiculous.
He's grabbed it like I grabbed my milk cartons in elementary school.
You know why he doesn't have any sausage on that plate? Because he's got his sausage fingers trying to eat those pancakes. He was so awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know the answer to what's a Buckeye?
No. Could you elaborate?
I cannot. I mean, I know the answer, but I cannot elaborate.
Oh, okay.
It's a bleeping nut is the
answer. This has been the Morning Sports Desk for Thursday, the 24th of October.
The Morning Sports Desk, available on demand on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts, and WadenaRadio.com.